My fellow Americans, this is John Rich, proud to present to you the very first State of the Brand address for Redneck Riviera American Blended Whiskey. In a short 16 months since this brand launched, we find ourselves now in 48 great American states. We are approaching a quantity this year that nobody thought was possible. We're seeing surges in sales in states nobody thought would happen. California, the West Coast, all the way to Florida, all the way to the Northeast. When you go to Boston, Massachusetts, people are drinking Redneck Riviera American Blended Whiskey. Can I get a round of applause for how far we've come in such a short time? Absolutely. I think part of the success of this brand is due to the fact that it's just more than a bottle of whiskey. This is not just some other bottle. As we all know, there's hundreds of new whiskeys coming out every single year. What makes us different? What makes Redneck Riviera a brand that can surge out of the gates like it has and have the staying power that we all know it does? Number one, Redneck Riviera whiskey is made right here in the good old US of A. As is the glass, as is the cork, as are the labels. 100% from top to bottom, this product is made in the United States of America. And I say we should keep our jobs in America because America is the place to do business. Can I get a yeehaw? Yeehaw! As people find out that we're one of the only brands that is 100% American made from glass to cork to bottle, they become proud to purchase it. And then the next question, well, how much does it cost? Well, growing up in a double-wide trailer in Amarillo, Texas, I can tell you, people don't have $50 or $60 laying around to spend on a bottle of anything. But $24.99 is where I put the brand price point for Redneck Riviera. Remember, folks, I don't endorse Redneck Riviera whiskey, I own it. There's a big difference. There's a lot of artist brands out there, they don't own those brands. They don't determine if the glass comes from America or what the price point is. I get to determine all those things, and my team and I have committed that it will always be an affordable, super premium whiskey. Super premium whiskey that's affordable. What a concept. In a world that tries to gouge every possible penny they can out of the consumers, that's not how we do it with Redneck Riviera. We know that the working class in this country is truly what makes it great. The working class in this country is the royalty class. If anybody should be drinking the good stuff, it's the working class. Redneck Riviera whiskey gives the working class something premium that they can also afford. And lastly, this right here, the Folds of Honor. 10% of the profits of every bottle of Redneck Riviera whiskey goes back to the Folds of Honor, which is an organization that puts kids through college who lost a mom or a dad in combat fighting for our country. I can't think of a more noble cause. And to date, Redneck Riviera whiskey has now funded over 50 college scholarships through the Folds of Honor. What do you think about that? And that trend will continue as we sell more whiskey. That 10% does not change. That 10%, once again, that's me. I make that call. It's called Tide. We give back. We always remember that without our active duty military, without our veterans, we wouldn't have a country that you could do business in. The thing called the American dream would have died a long time ago. But the American dream is still alive and well. I'm proof positive it can still happen. We chased that American dream with everything we had. I grew up with some great role models. My dad's one of the hardest working guys I ever saw, and he learned from somebody before him. And that would be the head of the liquor cabinet for Redneck Riviera whiskey on stage with me at this address. Give it up for Granny Rich. Queen of the working class, ladies and gentlemen. Queen of the working class. Matter of fact, to be here today for this State of the Brand address, Granny had to leave work to be here. At 87 and a half years old, still runs her own business by herself, cash business. She's an alterations expert. Matter of fact, the jeans I'm wearing right now, she had her sewing machine on. She's been making my clothes for decades now. Granny Rich sets an example, I think, for me and for all Americans, that if you're in this country and you want to work hard and you want to play hard, it can be done. And by the way, it just might mean that you wind up being like Granny Rich, 87 and a half, drinking a little whiskey on stage, still running your own business, and basically got the world by the tail. Can I get a hell yeah? So as Redneck Riviera whiskey was coming out the gates in 2018, we get 6 or 7 months into the year. The first thing I started hearing from customers and distributors and retailers was, hey, John, have you ever thought about doing a reserve version of your whiskey? I said, not till right now. I wonder how we would make it any better. And that was really the problem. How do you make it better? How do you make it smoother? How do you do that? I go back to Eastside Distilling, Mel Heim, Travis Shoney, two of the best master distillers in the world, and I said, how do we improve upon Redneck Riviera? What would be a reserve version? And they said, let's make it older. Let's get more aged versions of exactly the same whiskeys that we're already using, and let's see what that does. I said, okay. So we went to work on it. After about 6 months of research and development, which I did not mind doing, by the way, we came up with a blend of Redneck Riviera Reserve whiskey that could only have one name, in my opinion, because it's a little older and a little stronger, 86 proof instead of 80 proof, because Granny Rich was 86 as we developed this whiskey. And we are now proud to say it's moving its way across America, over 10 states, approaching nationwide status. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Granny Rich Reserve. Yeah! I will also add Granny Rich Reserve also. 10% of every bottle goes back to the folds of honor. I wrote this on the back about Granny. If you see the bottle, there she is right there. Look at her. Troublemaker. Troublemaker. I wrote this about you, Granny. My Granny Rich has lived through the Dust Bowl days, the Great Depression, and World War II. Through it all, she's remained a work hard, play hard, freedom-loving woman with an American spirit as strong as the West Texas wind she grew up with. Granny Rich Reserve is her drink of choice, as it is a little more aged and refined, just like she is. Here's to you, Granny. Here's to you, darling. Now, give it up for Granny now, come on. Lastly, I'd like to say that as this brand continues to surge, we get more and more requests across this country. It's honestly a full-time, 7-day-a-week with our entire team situation, which is very exciting. We had an idea. I ran it by Granny. I said, Granny, what if you and I join forces and we come up with something together that we could do and put out across America? And she said, I'd love it. I said, why don't we put our whiskeys together in one package? Remember what you said? Big old thumbs up on that, right? So I present to you, and this will be launched this year and roll through the end of 2020, the Redneck Riviera Whiskey 2020 Survival Kit, ladies and gentlemen. Come on with it. It's a bottle of Redneck Riviera American Blended Whiskey and also a bottle of Granny Rich Reserve, which is a bonus free bottle and a $20 ad that costs you nothing to get. This box will be $24.99 all around America. On the back of this box, I'm gonna read what I said. Face it, America, you're gonna need this, huh? 2020. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or independent, one thing's for sure in 2020, you're gonna need a drink. I'm proud to offer you not only a bottle of Redneck Riviera American Blended Whiskey, but a bonus bottle of the super smooth and world-renowned Granny Rich Reserve. It's time to shut up about politics and find some common ground with a glass of Redneck Riviera whiskey. May God bless America. May God bless each and every one of you, and drink American, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.